Yeah,
So the story of the song.
yeah. There were two strikes. First one was 1891. The Unionists wanted only union members to work in wool sheds and shearing sheds,
And
and
this
the
was all prior
pastoralists.
to the Labor Party starting and all that, wasn't it? To build up to all that, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah. It's
Yeah.
before the Labor Party. Yeah, it's one of the things that sort of helped it develop, I guess.
Mm.
So they wanted to only have unionists work in those wool sheds and shearing sheds, and the pastoralists wanted to have freedom of contract. They wanted to be able to hire whoever they wanted at, under their conditions. So the unionists went on strike. The pastoralists told the government sent out free labourers or non-unionists,
Hmm.
some of whom were probably from New Zealand, and they shore the sheep. And so the unionists went on strike. It was a bit of a protracted battle, and it had nasty consequences in some places. And I think 13 unionists were jailed and sent to St Helena.
And this is
Um,
true. I think from what I was reading, there was something like actually like 1,000 soldiers or something the government sent up to quell the so-called rebellion. Whatever was it that
yeah,
big?
yeah. The government called it an insurrection, and they sent lots of police, and then followed it up with troops. So it was a pretty serious time in Australia's history, really. Yeah, there was a second strike in 1894, and in September, the wool shed at Dagworth was burnt down. It was said that there were a group of Union shearers that camped by a billabong. They rode out in the dead of night to the shearing shed, started firing at the buildings where some of the owners and workers were sleeping. They were awoken, started to return fire, and during the firefight, one of the Union shearers crept out to the shearing shed, spread a bit of kerosene, and lit a match.
Yeah.
So no one from Dagworth could get close to fight the fire. So the wool shed was virtually destroyed, and about 140 lambs were killed in the fire. The raiding party escaped under the cover of darkness. Just as rain began to fall, that covered most of their tracks, so they couldn't find which direction they went next morning. They took a few samples of bullets that had been fired, found a few gates had been left open, which perhaps gave them a bit of an idea which direction they went. The owner and the policeman who'd been stationed at Dagworth because of the unrest from the strike, they set off to the nearest police station, which was Kainoona, and there was two policemen stationed there. Richard McGoffin, who did lots of research into the beginnings of Waltzing Matilda and wrote lots of books about it, he reckons that the two policemen at Kainoona, plus the owner of Dagworth Station, Christina's brother, Bob McPherson, and the other policeman that was stationed at Dagworth, so three policemen and the squatter, all rode out to the billabong because the police had heard there was a suicide of a swagman by a billabong. They found the body of this suicided swagman, who was Samuel Hofmeister, who was a Union shearer, and he was said to have been found with a rifle next to him, which had bullets similar to those found at Dagworth. He had a bullet wound through the roof of his mouth. He was in a camp with somewhere between 7 and 11 Union shearers, some of whom were said to have had criminal records. None of those men, which was a bit strange, were charged with the burning of Dagworth wool shed,
You're
which I
right.
don't really understand.